Is the probate court's appraisal the real value of the house? You have the probate referee's appraisal. You have a bank's appraisal. What is the value of the house? Well, we're going to talk about that coming up next. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brendan Mohr, California Realtor and Certified Probate and Trust Specialist by the California Association of Realtors.
And I'm Bill Heyman. I'm a licensed California professional fiduciary. I'm also a licensed California real estate broker. I am a licensed realtor in Nevada, as well as I'm a legal document assistant in both California and Nevada.
Now, please like this video, subscribe to our channel right now because we have a lot of information for you. Every day we help people save thousands of dollars and eliminate headaches with our one-of-a-kind probate administration service and real estate listing combo in both California and Nevada. So please reach out to us with questions, comment on this video. Our contact information is below, so please email us, text us, call us, because we can help you. Now, Bill, we get this a lot. The probate referee comes out, they value the home to their appraisal. And maybe we have a client who says, well, the probate referee said it was this. So, we think this is the value. Maybe they think it's high, maybe they think it's low, maybe they think it's just right. And I've seen all those situations. So is the probate court's appraisal the real value of the house?
Well, the easy, quick answer to that is absolutely no. It's not. It's not. You got to remember that the probate referee's appraisal is a date of death appraisal. He's appraising the value of the home as of date of death. On top of that, he does not ever come to the house and go through the house like a bank appraiser would. He just doesn't do that. He just looks at comparable sales as of the date of death to determine his value. So you're right. I mean, we both know one of the most common questions we get from people is we'll get either the personal representative or we'll get an error call us and say, hey, probate referee said the value is this. And we have to explain to them, well, we understand that. But that's not what counts when you're selling a home and you got a buyer who's getting a loan and is getting a bank appraisal. The bank appraisal is the accurate, up-to-date value of the home. And you should always rely on that as the real value of the house, not the probate referee's appraisal.
Yeah, there's really a couple layers here. And what I often see is that the probate referees come to the house or not come to the house at all, really. Right. In fact, I've been at a property that we were getting ready to go on the market, and the probate referee actually came up to the house. And I asked him, yeah, he was a real nice guy. He's out there, he's looking around. I think he was taking a couple of pictures of the outside the front of the house. And I said, hey, I'm here. Would you like to come inside? No. Now, anyone who's, if you're even slightly savvy with real estate, or maybe watch some of those home improvement shows or something, you know about home flipping. And you know that that there's several times where somebody can say it's a 1,500 square foot house, and there's they buy the house for $300,000, and it's not updated at all. Maybe it needs new carpet. It's all 1970s inside or something, and they put say $100,000 into it. So now they bought it for $300,000, put $100,000 into it. They're at $400,000. Then they sell it for $500,000. So I mean that's the same house. It was worth $300,000 before, and now it's worth $500,000 because of certain improvements. So you know how important in real estate it is about the actual condition of the home, going into the home and seeing its actual condition, and comparing it to the current market value of how.
And just to kind of add to what you're saying, Brendan, on your example of putting $100,000 into a home, buying it for $300,000, putting $100,000 in, selling it for $5,000, all that isn't going to make any difference to the probate referee. No. In his appraisal, it'll make absolutely zero difference to him. Won't matter.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Now, I've seen the most of the time in an up market, what I've seen, because the decedent, the person who owned the home, passed away usually months or even longer ago. So, naturally, real estate market is almost consistently going up, with some exceptions. So usually the value is lower. But there's been times where I've seen where, sure, the comparables in the neighborhood were maybe on the higher side, but this particular house was not taken care of well. It needed a new roof. You go inside and nothing is updated. There's no, in our area where we're in California, and most people in the valley have central heat and air because it can get hot. I think as we're making this video, we're talking about it's supposed to be like 117 this weekend. So central heat and air is a big deal. And walked into a home where the probate referee has said something like 450,000. And well, that's great, but this home doesn't have central heat and air. It's not updated at all. It's totally wrecked. It needs new flooring. It needs a new kitchen. There's stuff just falling apart. And there's no way that house was worth 450,000.
Yeah.
But the heirs are like, oh, but the probate referee said this. Now, you've seen many occasions what a probate referee's report and a bank appraisal's report. How similar are those?
They are almost, they're literally polar opposites. The probate referee's appraisal of a home is probably 2 to 3 pages in length at most, whereas a bank appraisal could be 30, 40, 50, 60 pages in length. It's much more detailed, much more detailed.
In small font and real data, and they get pluses and minuses to all the interior details. So you can imagine if a probate referee never even went in the house, how can he give pluses and minuses in value for interior details?
Yeah.
And when selling a home, and if you've sold a home before, you know this, or bought a home before, you may know this if you've looked at an appraisal report or understand the process. The lender requires a professional bank appraisal that is very, very detailed, and with all sorts of different stipulations and condition guidelines.
Yeah, if you were to try to take a probate referee's appraisal to a bank and say, here, use this appraisal, no way. Bank will just, they'll say, thank you very much, and into the circular file will the probate referee's appraisal go.
It's about as legitimate as monopoly money to buy a house.
Yep.
So don't put too much stock into what the probate referee's appraisal is. Now, it does come into play in a real estate sale during, there's a certain type of authority.
Right. That's very true. And we talk about this in some of our other videos. But if you've got a situation in a probate where you have the executor or administrator has limited authority and you have to go through court confirmation, then by all means, at that point, the probate referee's appraisal plays a very significant role in how the court confirmation sale is going to go. Yeah, definitely.
Essentially, you have to sell the house for a certain amount higher than what the probate referee said in most cases.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, anything more we can add to this situation?
Well, this may or may not be pertinent to this video, but I'll throw it in for what it's worth.
Sure.
There may be times in a probate when it's possibly advantageous to an estate to have the probate referee give a lower end appraisal. And as you were talking earlier in the video, Brendan, about how you might have a house that, on the inside needs a lot of work, you can let the probate referee know. You can call them, or send them a letter saying, look, the home's in very, very bad shape. Needs a new roof, needs a new HVAC system. The yard is horrible. It's overgrown, et cetera. You could even send them a few pictures. You can do that, and you can get him to, talk down the appraisal. You can do that. It's allowed. So like I said, there may be times when the estate's looking for a lower appraisal, and that's the way you can possibly get that done with a probate referee.
Sometimes people ask me, because I do the real estate side of things. So Bill actually is often the administrator of a lot of probates.
A lot of times,
let alone actually handling all the ins and outs of the probate process. But a lot of times a seller will ask me pretty detailed questions about the probate referee's appraisal, and it's something that in most cases, especially full authority cases, which is by far most of probate cases, there's zero effect. I don't care about the probate referee's appraisal at all. I never see it. It has no bearing on anything I do. Exactly 0%. So from a real estate agent's perspective, it's like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, with full authority. Nah.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind when you're thinking about pricing a property and or what the real value is, or if you're concerned with the probate referee's appraisal and you're talking to a realtor. If it comes into a limited authority situation, then it is important.
You bring up one other good point, Brendan, just what you were talking about is when you're a seller of probate real estate, and I've had this happen on occasion, you never want to price the property based on the probate referee's appraisal. Never, ever do that. And I have had certain situations where some people have said, well, the probate referee's appraisal is this, so I think we should price it at that. And that's totally inaccurate and incorrect. You should always price the property based on what comparables are going for in that area. Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're pricing a home, you really need to take a hard look at comparable sales, that's past sales. Take a look at pendings. You tend to not be able to tell what a home is actually going to close for when it says pending. It'll show the list price, but it won't show the closed price until it's closed. But I also price a home to competition, looking at all the details of your home and see where it can be priced. And really, you want to, in most cases, you want to price a home competitively, so you're actually getting people looking at your home. You know, we're in California, and most of California is typically a lot hotter market than a lot of the rest of the country. And if you're having home sitting on the market for a while, it's not really good for the home. You start to get lowballed after that. Yeah. So listening to your realtor and real data is far better than looking at
pricing your home competitively. We've found, and I'm sure most other experienced realtors have found, you will get the highest price for your home in the end. You will.
Yeah, I mean, there's something that a lot of people there's a misconception about real estate when they maybe heard in the news that they saw a property that got 100 offers. We got 100 offers because the house was underpriced, usually dramatically underpriced. Now, let's just say like a house ended up selling for 500,000 and it was listed at 400,000. And well, it was listed at 400,000. And maybe they I don't know why they would have done that, but listed it dramatically low. They got a ton of offers and it sold for 500,000. But if they priced it at 600,000, they probably would have gotten no offers. So just remember that with pricing and looking at all the things, you know, with probate referees appraisal, listen to your agent and look at real data, because that's what matters the most.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has all been great information. So I think that you need to expand your knowledge on this subject and maybe learn how to save some money in probate. And this is one of our most important videos where you could save thousands of dollars just by watching this video. Or acting in maybe the advice of this video or taking some knowledge from it. But it's how much does probate cost in California? It's our video that's linked next. So please click on that. It's going to appear right in front of his face there in just a moment. Thank you.